Okay, so if you're a gamer, you know this feeling. You've got a huge library of games, but no idea what to play next. That choice paralysis is absolutely real. But what if I told you there's a tool the community uses to turn all that chaos into pure clarity? Let's dive in.
Does this look a little too familiar? That endless scroll through titles you bought on sale but never even touched? It is a classic gamer problem, right? So many choices and just not enough time. How in the world do you decide which game is actually worth your precious hours?
Well, you are definitely not alone in looking for a guide. In fact, get this, a whopping 65% of gamers rely on one specific method to find new games and figure out what to play next. That's a huge majority of us, turning to a single concept to guide our gaming journey. So, what is this magic tool? It's the games tier list. This is the system that millions rely on to navigate the just massive universe of video games. So let's break down what it is and, more importantly, why it's so incredibly effective. A tier list is so much more than just your average top 10. Think of it as a super comprehensive ranking system. It sorts games into different levels or tiers based on a whole bunch of factors. We're talking gameplay, graphics, popularity, even cultural impact. It gives you a much richer, more detailed view of things.
So why even bother with one? Well, for starters, a good tier list makes finding your next favorite game incredibly easy. But it goes deeper than that, you know? It's a catalyst for community. It taps into that very human need to categorize things, compare them, and, let's be honest, fiercely debate them. These lists spark amazing conversations that help you find games perfect for your tastes, all while keeping you plugged into what's happening.
Now, to really understand tier lists, you've got to speak the language. And that language is all about the letters, specifically the tiers themselves. Let me show you how it breaks down. It's a really simple but powerful system. S tier is reserved for the absolute gods of gaming, the masterpieces, the ones you have to play. A tier games are fantastic, totally exceptional, and highly recommended. And B tier, this is where you often find those amazing hidden gems, those really quality games that maybe flew under the radar.
And this system isn't just for one type of game, no way. It is incredibly versatile. Tier lists are used for pretty much every single genre you can think of, from these huge, sprawling epics to the most fast-paced, competitive shooters out there.
For instance, you'll find tier lists that rank massive RPGs based on their story and world building. Then you'll see others that rank characters or weapons in competitive esports like MOBAs or shooters. They're used for everything, from super complex strategy games to intense battle royales. They even help us tackle that age-old debate: which is better, modern or classic games?
Now, this is a perfect example of how a tier list lets you compare apples and oranges. I mean, how do you weigh the timeless appeal of a classic against the mind-blowing graphics of a modern masterpiece? A tier list gives you the framework to have that exact debate, and trust me, it often sparks some of the most passionate discussions you'll find in gaming.
But here's the best part of all this. You don't have to just sit back and consume tier lists. You can, and you absolutely should, become a creator. It's your turn to jump in, share your expertise, and bring your unique perspective to the table.
And honestly, it's pretty straightforward. First, you do a little research on the games you want to rank. Then, and this is the most important part, you decide on your personal criteria. Is gameplay king for you, or is it all about the story? After that, you just use a free online tool to build your list, and finally, you share it with the community and get the conversation started. Getting started is so easy. There are tons of online tier list makers and templates out there. You can browse forums to see what other people are thinking. But the single most important tool you have, it's your own experience, your opinions. That's what's going to make your list totally unique.
All right, as we start to wrap up, it's really important to remember that a tier list is so much more than just a simple ranking. It's actually about something way, way bigger.
This right here, this gets to the very heart of it. Tier lists are conversation starters. They don't just reflect what the community thinks, they actively influence it. Sometimes, they even impact which games get sequels or what features developers decide to focus on. When you share your list, you're contributing to the culture. You're helping to shape the gaming world itself. So I'm going to turn it over to you. After everything we've talked about, what are the absolute, undeniable masterpieces that belong at the very top of your list? I want to know what's in your S tier.